Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything politics as it concerns our country, Nigeria, especially the 2023 presidential election. You know that recently the a group that is promoting the presidential candidacy of the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate, as well as Tinubu, called on INEC to disqualify Peter Obi and his running mate, Dati Ahmed, for soliciting for fund from the diaspora to fund their campaign. And you know, this generated a lot of interest. And this group, which goes under the name of Tinubu Shetima Connect, in a statement by their convener, Adebanjo Moyosore, insisted that they will even go to court if INEC failed to disqualify Peter Obi. Of course, many people know that Peter Obi has not yet violated any electoral act in terms of campaign funding, because what happened was that as a diaspora group, some diaspora groups had the intention of doing crowdfunding for Mr. Peter Obi, where they intended to raise about $150 million and then 100 billion naira. That was basically it. Of course, APC was rattled by this. After all, they said that Peter Obi doesn't have resources to be able to match them naira for naira, dollar for dollar ahead of the election. So they saw a prospect of Peter Obi raising a huge amount of money that could be able to challenge them in the forthcoming presidential election. So they send out one of the groups to raise the alarm of what is about to befall them. And that group, under the aegis of Tinubu Shetima Connect, did the yeoman's job by raising the alarm. But there are some interesting sections they cited about what the Electoral Act and what the Constitution said about funding by foreigners. And we need to look at some of these things so that we know how to approach it, so that these funds could be raised for Peter Obi without breaking the law. And it is important that this is done, because Peter Obi is now a major issue in Nigeria right now. And there are people who are ready to run him down, who are looking for any legal loophole to destroy his campaign. Now, the Tinubu Shetima Connect, they cited some sections of the Constitution to give bite to what they were saying. Now, the sections of the Constitution they cited include Section 85 of the Electoral Act, which explain this issue of funding. Section 85AB provides that any political party that hold or possesses any fund outside Nigeria in contravention of Section 2253, that's Section 225, subsection 3A of the Constitution, contra commits an offense and shall, on conviction, forfeit the funds and assets purchased with such funds to the commission, that's the Electoral Commission, and in addition, may be liable to a fine of at least 5 million naira, or any political party that retains any fund or other assets remitted to it from outside Nigeria in contravention of Section 225, subsection 3A of the Constitution commits an offense and shall, on conviction, forfeit the fund or assets to the commission, and in addition may be liable to a fine of at least 5 million naira. Now, is in that same section 225, subsection 2, it said that every political party shall submit to the INEC, that's Independent National Electoral Commission, a detailed annual statement and analysis of sources of fund and other assets, together with a similar statement of the expenditure in such form as the commission may require. Section 225, subsection 3, say that no political party shall A, hold or possess any funds or other assets outside Nigeria, or be entitled to retain any funds or assets remitted or sent to it from outside Nigeria. Any fund, any funds or other assets remitted to a political party from outside Nigeria shall be paid over or transferred to the commission within 21 days of each receipt, with information as the commission may require. So these are what the law said about funding and from abroad. Now, first of all, we have to also note that when the constitution, these laws were made, they were targeting the process of funding from entities that are not Nigerians. We are talking about things like an American or a Chinese or an Indian who have that has business interest in Nigeria or hoping to have business interest in Nigeria, funding a campaign in Nigeria. But diasporans are Nigerians, and they ought to be interested in what happens in their country. So they are free to contribute money to ensure that the right persons are elected to run the affairs of Nigeria. However, in this particular case of Peter Obi and others like it, there is a need to follow the law amicably. I have heard a chieftain of the Labour Party, Professor Pat Utomi, saying that by next week, they are going to open the portal for people to start donating money for Peter Obi's campaign, crowdfunding and all. And when I saw him on Channels Television, he was like dismissive of these sections of the Constitution and the Electoral Act, which appears to present bottleneck, because he was saying that after all, when he contested for president before, he was able to get funding. Fine and good. But I hope he was able to get the funding through the proper way, because the proper way is what I'm making this video for, so that That is the way that should be followed to beat the bottleneck and all the traps that people are hoping that P2B will fall into. Now, before I go into that, if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, I have taken my time to study the opinion of legal practitioners of note. And they have said that it is doable without, you can raise funds for P2B without contravening this law. You can raise diaspora money for P2B without contravening the Electoral Act or the Constitution. Now, one of the people that spoke about this issue is Professor Paul. He's Professor Paul Ananaba. Professor Paul Ananaba, chairman of MBA section on public interest and development law. He made it clear that P2B, that it is against the law for any diaspora, for any money to be raised from abroad for a political party, like Labour Party or any other party. These laws were all itemized in that section 225. He said those things in there means that no political party should raise fund from abroad. If that party does it, it's against the law. However, this same law did not say that a candidate cannot raise the money, raise funding. His position was also confirmed by Chief Oluwole Osaze Uzi, the former director of legal services and voter education of INEC. He said, why parties cannot raise funds from diaspora, individual candidates can raise, because the law did not stop them. This same position was also taken by Joseph Daudu, former president of Nigerian Bar Association. Having taken cognizance of this expert opinion, I think the best thing to do is that the campaign funding, the crowdfunding, whatever funding they want to do coming from the diaspora should be done in the name of P2B. The funding should be based in the name of P2B. So P2B should open the account with his name or whatever name, but that name must not be Labour Party. If Labour Party makes the mistake of setting up the crowdfunding under the name of Labour Party, seeking for fund from the diaspora, it will fall foul of the law, from what the legal experts have said. But if this funding is done through P2B's name, it is within the law. No law will be violated. But I do know that Labour Party can also raise money on its own name within the country. But that of money coming from the diaspora, on no account should Labour Party use its name to raise such funding from the diaspora, because it will fall foul of the law. And the APC and the Tinubu people and even the PDP will use it against Peter Obi, and there will be dire consequences. So that is the best thing to do. Let the funding, diaspora funding, be done in the name of Peter Obi. After all, most of the momentum that Labour Party is having now is because of the name of Peter Obi. So it is safer to get this money from the diaspora through Peter Obi. Uh, uh, Professor Patu Tomi may have contested election in the past, and he was able to raise funding under a particular party. That's what he did, he got away with it that time because perhaps he wasn't a candidate that everybody was putting eye on the way they are putting eye on Peter Obi right now. So there are some things some people have done in the past that can get away with it, even though it was against the law. But somebody doing it presently can get caught. You cannot say because some act was allowed to pass in the past, so you commit it now and you are held. You say, why didn't they arrest people in the past for doing the same thing? No, it is you that is caught right now that will bear the consequences for that, the law, for that action, for the action you've taken. So the best thing is for Labour Party to make sure that the funding, the crowdfunding they want to do, is done in the name of Peter Obi. Okay? Because if you look at it, even Dele Momodu, the one that is in PDP, he opened a campaign funding account in his name. In fact, it was his account that one of these people that were making predictions claimed that he paid $10,000. It was the campaign account of Dele Momodu that this, whether it's Adeyonju or something like that is his name, who is doing betting on who will win the election and all whatnot with somebody else. He said he claimed he deposited $10,000 in the campaign account. It was a campaign account. It was later found out it was a campaign account of Dele Momodu that Adeyonju or something like that purportedly deposited the 10,000 he claimed he deposited, which his challenger was raising the issue that he's not even sure that it was true. And that guy say he will not put money in a campaign fund of Dele Momodu. So I think it's allowed. The legal luminaries have said it. So Peter Obi's name should be used to open the account for the crowdfunding for diasporas to pay in money. If there are some money, campaign funding that Labour Party want to raise within the country, they can go ahead and do that. But they should also know that such public donation will come under the scrutiny of INEC. But that is a different matter altogether, because INEC has the responsibility to monitor campaign funding, how it's spent, and everything else. But the issue of dollars coming in from diaspora, let that be done in the name of Peter Obi to avoid any problem with the law, so that the Labour Party will not give ammunition to those challenging Peter Obi in APC and PDP to use the law against Peter Obi's campaign and harm it seriously. So that is my position, and I hope that when you finish watching this video, you can share it as widely as possible so that it can get to the right people, because Professor Patu told me saying that the crowdfunding is starting next week. There is therefore the need for people like him to be aware of this if they are not aware, because I know that Professor Patu told me is a cerebral person I hope he has done his research so that he doesn't do it the way he did it when he was a presidential candidate. Because if he's the one that has been detailed to open the account, let him be properly advised to open it in the name of Peter Obi instead of in the name of Labour Party. Labour Party collecting funding from abroad will fall foul of the law and there will be dire consequences. Thank you for watching this video. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.